Oh, we're pretty much in the end game now. Now, to be fair, I'm all for this. The episodes have been good. This one isn't as bad, but it still has its kind of down points in this. But there's a lot to kind of unpack, and I cannot wait for the finale coming up in literally, I think, a day or two from this time of this recording. So anyway, I feel like this episode is a little bit underwhelming at times, and it makes me think, but there's only certain parts that make me think that. So let's bring it on. I love the fact that we get previously on Power Rangers in German, which I never thought that I would ever hear, but I'm all here for it. So the interesting thing that I would have done, just to leave the Rangers a little bit of kind of a I was here, is if I was Void King, I would have destroyed most of the base rather than just go in, grab the sports, come out. I would have just literally gone boom, just so the Rangers come back and like, holy crap, what the hell has been kind of going on along this time? We know that Solrun is fine. The Rangers have teleported in. They're helping her up and kind of talking about what's going on. But the main thing in this episode is the Ravkonians come. And from the kind of descriptions that I've read, that I've talked about, it feels like this was meant to be like a massive armada that was coming. But it's just one ship. And it kind of makes me believe that there was not many people on Ravkon. It feels like either the population died out, or maybe they all went their different ways and they left a beacon to say, hey, Ravkon is safe, etc., etc. But to me, it just feels right now that there's nothing left of the race. And when they come to Earth, and the main thing is, they start saying like, oh, we're going to take over, we're going to invade, we're going to make Earth the new Ravkon effectively. It just feels like they easily could have been taken out. Even if it's not by the Rangers, if it was military force, they would be taken out really quickly. And I feel like that would be much of a downside. So I don't know if this is like a scout ship or if much later on that they do have another one. But for right now, I was just I was underwhelmed of how many like Ravkonians there were. They're great fighters, believe me, we see it all the way through the episode. But to me, I feel like this is a huge letdown, and I was expecting some sort of like super megaforce armada just to come out of nowhere and say, hey, we're going to be taking over the Earth. So seeing this, I felt like it's a bit Now, in the previous episode 2, where basically all of them go to Ravkon, I think it's one of the episodes we reviewed. Like, you see Zeta go, this is where it is, this is where that place was. And you see it hustling and bustling with life, obviously, through the buildings. So I'm just a bit kind of like, where is everyone? Where is everyone on Ravkon? So again, I'm hoping the English one, they do kind of explain it a little bit more. But I'm kind of just wondering what's going on. But mainly, the Ravkonians are here to colonize Earth. They want it for themselves, because they know that the human race is treating the planet really badly, and they show some examples. And one thing I would totally note down is, even though that these Ravkonians have come along, I wouldn't let them look around the base that much. That's one thing that really kind of got me, because I generally thought, that's a bit weird, because like the way that they're looking around, they could be tinkering with stuff, they could be modding stuff for a massive invasion if need be. But again, I would be more like, guys, like, could you all kind of come around? Don't go look at the weapons, the morphers and stuff like that. It just to me just feels like it's not the best thing right now. Another thing I would have had in this is the fact that I would have had a fight in the base. So as soon as the commander, Arya, she turns around and says like, oh, we're going to colonize this, and obviously there is a hell no, you're not. I feel like there could have been a fight in the base for a little bit, even if it was like for a minute, even if it was for 15 seconds. I feel like there could have been something there, rather than the Rangers being all ganged up on, because everyone takes kind of a stance around them. And I do think that the Rangers could literally take them all out quite quickly, because if they took like the swords from the wall, the Rangers could just call on the weapons and the sword will just go straight to the Ranger. So seeing all of this, I generally thought that we would have like a fight going on, and no. But one thing that we do see is when Void Queen has all the other Sporex, she sends them out to the city, to Pine Ridge. And I'm just thinking, okay, that's really cool, but I thought she would have more, so I don't know why there's so little. It does look a lot, but when I was kind of looking at this, I was like, I thought like the whole place would be buzzing with loads of Sporix. But no, it just feels like, no, there was hardly any. To me, I'm a bit kind of like, but I will say it's really nice to see some of the bad guys. I think we may see some new ones, but pretty much they're just reusing the monster suits that they've had all the way through the series. I think one of the nicer moments is when it comes into, I think maybe it's the kind of second half or near to the second half, is that everyone is calling people at Buzz Blast. Amelia is calling Pop Pop, and they're kind of saying like, hey, you know, you might need to get out of the city, or just be careful, there are Sporix beasts. One of the things that I would really love to see in this is mainly the frustration and anger channeled through the Rangers, because you've gotten to the end of the series where these bad guys always come out of nowhere and you want to destroy them, you want to have a go at them, and I would like to see like anger and frustration channeled through the Rangers, not in a like I'm going to not listen to everyone and what they say, but I feel like having this would be like one of the better things, going straight for the kill, going straight for the bad guys, and just going, I don't care anymore, I'm sick and tired. And I would love to see that frustration go all the way through to, like, say, Cosmic Fury, where it's just like, right, we do this every week and this never changes, I'm going to put a stop to this. And I feel like maybe in the last 2 episodes we're going to see Amelia do something like this, which I'll kind of talk about in a moment. So with the Sporix beasts being everywhere and the Ravkonians going, okay, we'll join you, you know, we've seen the air and stuff like that, I really like that they're fighting. It feels like they're a proper squad, and it feels like the Rangers actually have proper backup, and it's not just like, oh, here's 1 or 2. Now, I think it'd be really cool if these were Rangers. If they were Power Rangers, I would absolutely find this fantastic. So I kept seeing like Lost Galaxy Green, as well as like Mystic Force Blue and stuff like that as the actual Ravkonian army, and I think that I would love to kind of see. And if they do it for the later on series, I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So please let that be a thing. I want to see more Ranger teams up. But yeah, I like the way that they fight, and especially with Arya, where she literally goes for it. She's not like kind of holding back. She's one of the type of characters that would really get into a fight and really attack. And again, the way that this has all been done really speaks well of Dino Fury. One of the main bad guys for this episode is Crash Flood. And I love the fact that when he grows into like a bigger monster, that the Rangers split up. They make the kind of like a different Megazord. It's Ollie controlling it, so obviously it's got his key in it. So obviously he's the kind of fencing one. Now, there's one thing that I always love, and I love seeing the Megazord being defeated. Not in like a few punches and it staggers back and then the Rangers win. No, I mean full on, like we're talking like the Thunderzords being destroyed, that sort of thing. So seeing Crash Flood actually be able to take down a Megazord quite quickly, I really enjoyed this. And I like the fact that it was on the kind of ground and it's like, oh god, we can't do it. I like this. And then I think one of the other things which makes me kind of think that they don't need Megazords that much anymore is when Zato and Ion are using like the Dino Master Saber, and they're actually using power-ups to go through Wreckmate, kind of get rid of him, and then take down a giant monster with using that much power. So I feel like that is always a nice kind of little touch, and I want to see more of this sort of stuff. I love seeing like Rangers take down giant monsters. I love seeing monsters destroy and damage Megazords. It brings an element of danger, as well as like saying to the Rangers, hey, you're not as strong as what you think you are in a giant Megazord. But all of this combined makes me just really happy. I think there is only one part of Power Rangers that made me go fucking hell, and it's when Pop Pop protects Arya. He stands in front, he uses his shovel, because one of the monsters I think is just literally attacking and cuts through his shovel. He obviously says something which I don't know. I'm guessing he's like, oh, I didn't see that, or man, I'm gonna have to get another shovel. When literally the monster hits him and he goes flying into that tree, it's not like a soft thing. I don't know if it was a stunt double or if it was a kind of like one of those rag dolls that look realistic, but seeing Pop Pop hit this tree, literally almost wrap around it and then hit the floor, I'm like, fucking hell. It's the only time I think in Power Rangers that I've actually said this, and I was just like, oh, that is definitely different. But I think one of the elements in this is the fact that Amelia sees this, she runs over. Arya sorts of kind of like says, hey, maybe humans aren't that bad, because we saw earlier with Garcia, the warden, actually saving people, and it changes her mind. And this is one of the elements that the description says, that she has a change of heart, seeing how humans help other humans and they're not just obviously destroying. But seeing Amelia really worried about Pop Pop leads into a really good scene, and it's a really emotional. Now, I can't wait to see this in English because I think it will be 10 times better. So yeah, I really kind of like this. This is definitely an emotional scene. And then mainly when they go back to the base, Amelia is helping. They've got this kind of like fluid that would help probably restore him. He's not going to die. It does look like he does die in this, but from seeing how Amelia is, and Pop Pop says, hey, look, you know, your parents are from Area 62, they're aliens, you're an alien, etc., etc. I feel like this was such an emotional scene, and I liked it. I really wanted to see more. And because we've had Pop Pop be a big part of Dino Fury from season 1 to season 2, it really sticks. So seeing it is like a oh shit type of moment, and I'm here for it. I really like it. I really want Pop Pop to go, and I'd like to go into space, into Cosmic Fury, and I would love to see like how the Rangers are with him now. But yeah, this scene was fantastic. But yeah, I know he's going to come back in the next episode. I know this is going to happen. You know, if not, you can just get the Morphing Masters to come in and help out. But yeah, I do believe he'll be back in the next episode, if not the last episode. When he's like, guys, like, you know, your Power Rangers, you saved the world, amazing. That is what that's what I reckon is going to happen. Now, kind of jumping back a little bit with Pop Pop, watching the Rangers fight. When we see the Rangers fight, it looks really quick. But I think when watching it from Pop Pop's point of view, it's really slow, and I don't know why. So I don't know if they were told to hold back a little bit for a split moment or two, but it just looks like they're holding back a lot of the time, and that doesn't bother me, but it was just something that I wanted to kind of point out. But this episode to me is fantastic. I love the fact that it's now coming to Endgame. It feels like there is danger looming, that the Rangers aren't like, oh shit, we're gonna win. They are literally, oh my god, we could lose this. And I love this. This is what I love Power Rangers to be. I would have loved Void Knight to actually demolish the base to the point where everything is up in the air and they're trying to get it all up and running. But I think that would be kind of cool. But for what this episode is, I feel like it's a fantastic episode. It's not probably one of the better ones, but it's a really, really good episode. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。